We know that, truth be told, you want to be a part of our studio audience. It's certainly worth all the fun for everybody. If you'd like to book your seat, just visit WBOC.com, click on our picture at the top of the page, or give us a call. There's the number, 443-880-9116. He's been called among the most interesting and accomplished American novelists of any genre or category. His record backs that up. As a matter of fact, you've probably heard of Denis Lehane's work, a lot of which started out as books and then turned into blockbuster hits in Hollywood. For instance, Mystic River, directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Sean Penn, Tim Robbins, and Kevin Bacon. Gone Baby Gone, directed by Ben Affleck and starring his brother Casey Affleck. Shutter Island, directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Now Denis is out with a new book, World Gone By. Could this be the beginning of yet another Hollywood hit? We're honored to welcome New York Times bestselling author Denis Lehane from New York City to DelmarvaLife this afternoon. Thanks for joining us, Denis.
Thanks for having me, Jimmy.
Okay, so I got to ask you, it seems like everything you touch turns to gold. What's it like having Hollywood A-listers put your stuff up on the big screen?
It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't have any complaints. So it's great. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so you're out with this new book, World Gone By, which actually continues the story of a very familiar character. Tell me about it.
Well, World Gone By is the third book that has the character of Joe Coughlin in it. All the books were meant to stand completely alone. You can read them regardless of whether you know the other two. But it's the culmination of basically a guy's life. It's Joe is he's a consigliere for the Tampa mob in 1943. He moves easily between the illegitimate world of the mafia and the legitimate world of Tampa society, and he's extremely popular. He makes money for all his friends, and yet he hears a rumor that somebody is planning to assassinate him. And as you would do if you heard that yourself, you would try to get to the bottom of it and find out whether it's true. And that's really what drives the engine of the book.
You put a lot of research into this.
You know, surprisingly, no, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I looked things up as I needed to, but, you know, if I wanted to know what people were wearing or what the price of a movie ticket was, of course I'd look that up, what was playing on the radio. But I just did that as I needed to do it. I didn't want to submerge the reader in a sense of a period piece, because those things can sometimes feel embalmed,
right,
if you will.
So
and I didn't want the reader to feel that.
So how is this book different than what you've already done? How does it stand out differently?
To the other ones?
Yeah.
Well, I think that each of the books in the series, if you want to call it that, The Given Day is an exuberant book. It's about youth in a lot of ways. Then World Gone By is about young adulthood. I'm sorry, not World Gone By. Live by Night, which is the second book, is very much about love, a sort of a guy coming into his adulthood, his adult years. And then World Gone By is about this sense that the world is maybe passing you by, that you are getting older, that if you don't change what you're doing, maybe the past will ultimately catch up to you.
Yeah. So you've turned so much has turned into blockbusters on the screen. Do you think this one could follow the same path?
It could. I mean, right now, I know for a fact that it's not, because we have not attempted to sell it to the film world yet.
Right.
But it could ultimately become something. We'll see what happens.
So you're a tremendously successful author, and you're trying your hand at screenwriting now.
Yeah, I had a film that I wrote called The Drop, came out in the fall with Tom Hardy and James Gandolfini, and then I've written a couple of scripts that are in various stages of production, and I've got 3 different TV projects in development.
Wow.
So they're keeping me busy out there.
Denis Lehane, World Gone By, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Before I let you go, what's next? What's coming down the pike from you?
Well, I'm working on a book right now, but in the internet age, it's a good idea not to speak about what you're working on until it's locked up. So I'm about 2/3 of the way through a novel, and we'll see where I'm at in a few months.
Can't wait to see it. Denis Lehane, thank you so much for talking to us this afternoon. It's been a pleasure. Now, if you'd like to read more about what Denis just had to say, all you have to do is go to WBOC.com and click on our picture at the top of the page. Now, this guy is no stranger to Hollywood with 2 recent movies, Into the Woods and Begin Again. Up next, actor James Corden gets ready to set foot on a different stage and into our living rooms as the new host of CBS's Late Late Show. You're going to see some of what he has in store coming up next.